Beep, 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 beep. Right, to the idiot that messaged me about my iron, I'm not ironing anything. Too many important things to do in life to iron. Iron. Hello, how are we doing? Right, okay. I've had a few questions come through about various things. And I also have had a few observations come through about YouTube and things like that. So I'm going to do a short thing about that today. And also, we're 6 months thereabouts through the year. It's been one hell of a year with some extraordinary changes. I've got people working outside again. Can you hear it? I can't get past it. I get me room. And even then, I don't know I'm going to stop the noise. It's been an extraordinary year. The Winning Mindset Warrior Teacher Program now has been running for 12 months. So I've had a few questions come through, so I'm going to answer them. They're not particularly about the warrior mindset, they're about all sorts of things. So I just thought it'd be a nice idea to answer them, because it may be some of the questions that some of you may have in general about things, you know. So let's just answer those questions. All right, so here we go with the first one. I've placed comments on YouTube and they don't appear on your channel. What's going on? Are you censoring me? No, I am not censoring you, okay? What happens is this. I go on YouTube and I put up my usual wafflings and wibblings and nonsense, right, okay? And when I do, you then come on and do what I like most, which is comment, okay? Now, those comments then go through a verification process, which looks for things like bad language or threats. It's got the algorithm's doing its thing, in other words, right? Most are short comments or you know, because it's only text. It's done in seconds, right? If they think that you are making a threat, or if the algorithm identifies bad language or anything else that goes on, that is then corralled into a separate part of the YouTube channel where I have to go to then physically say this comment is okay. Okay, so I have to read through them all and click. Now, truth be told, don't get many, right? Apart from the threats. They're getting very good at doing that now. Right, they get very good at spotting when people are being, you know, threatened, or, you know, I'm going to kill you, I know where you live, and all that shit. So they're getting very good at identifying that and holding it back, and accusations, false accusations, all the stuff that comes from the nutters, right? So gradually that's diminished, because as you may or may not be aware on YouTube, you can actually hide people from your channel. You can't block them, but you hide them from the channel, and what that means is, even if they comment, it doesn't go anywhere. There's no comment. They're not allowed to comment. You know, they won't be able to see anything that's going on, which is probably the only solution to that there is. Other than that, normally I will go to that comment section at least once every couple of days to do the clicks. Everything's okay. Now, the other thing is, I've also had messages from people that say to me, "You like everything." Well, the reason that I click thumbs up and like to everything is because people have bothered to respond. It is not an endorsement of what they're saying. It's not an agreement with what they're saying, but they've taken the time to watch me and then to respond. The least I can do is give them a thumbs up and a like. That's why I do it. Doesn't mean I agree with them, right? What I agree with is the fact that they're taking part in the conversation. And providing that isn't go kill yourself, I know where you live, you know, we're going to kill your cat, then I'm going to like it and go, great, thanks for taking part. Because that's what it's about, right? The only time that I'm not going to let you take part, because it's my party, folks, bear that in mind, is when you start getting nasty, right? If you put something up that's just nonsense, right, I'm not going to like it either, right? So you better come with something to say, and then most people will get through. Now, the vast majority of the comments that go straight on and are no trouble at all. And the chat is uncensored. I don't censor the chat, even though it allows me to. Okay, so even if the nutters get in the chat and go, this man's a transphobe, and all the usual rubbish they do, I won't censor it. So when it does happen and you can't see your comment, it'll be A, because it's sitting in the little, you know, is this a dodgy one comment box, okay? Or it's just got lost in the ether. And I think that sometimes happens. I've had stuff appear in it's the naughty comment box 3 weeks after it was made, right? So I can't control that, right? Secondly, my YouTube channel has had something like getting on for 500,000 views. Not views. Yeah, do I mean views? I do mean views. 500,000. That's it. That's extraordinary, isn't it? Getting on for. Okay, getting on for. And the vast majority of people watch most of the vast majority of the videos, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. Right? That sort of answers the first question. The second question was about the Warrior Teacher Program. This is a very good question. Is it just for teachers? I've said this before a dozen times. No, we create warrior teachers. You don't have to be a teacher. I've got people who are, in their 60s and 70s on this course. We've got women and we've got men now. Not many of them. Where are you, men? Not many of them, but we've got them. Right? Okay, so no, it's open to everybody. And it's not specifically about one subject. It's about a thought process. It's about how to build narratives, which nicely leads into the next question that I got, which was, what is the story I should be telling to change people's minds? Right? I'm like, that is a huge question, folks. That's a huge question, which is why the Warrior Teacher program's there in the first place. We talk about building narratives and we tell different stories and we look at different things. So 1 month we'll look at, how do we communicate properly? The next month we'll look at what is it, the tricks and the critical social justice Fruit Loops will use to stop you from speaking. How do you control that need to go bleh? And then the next month we'll be looking at, storage and data. Right, so we cover all sorts of stuff. That's what makes it so interesting, and that's why every month when people come along for the hour or 2 hour session, it's usually 2 hours. In the case of one particular cohort that I've got, it's usually 4 hours. You talkative bunch, you are, right? Other than that, it's just let's learn together and let's try and find ways to help one another, and that help is reciprocated in the WhatsApp groups and by email where people get together to help each other. I said this when I said, there were 10 Warrior Teachers at the Stand In for Women meeting the other day. It's great to see, they're out there doing the thing. So that's another question that was answered. The next question that was asked is, do you ever sleep? Rarely, okay? I doze. That's what I do, is doze. It's like I've got some sort of strange trauma. I doze most of the time. So I'll do something like this today, yeah? And then I'll be gone for 20 minutes and then I'll be back, right? So because I teach people that are all over the world, there's a few of them that are like 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'm up and teaching till 3 or 4, and then I go to bed for a few hours, and I get up and have some breakfast. It's all a bit crazy. But the strange thing is this gig economy thing. It's just I'm part of the gig economy now, it seems, and I have no idea how I got here. Help! Right, so that's answering another question. The next question is, do we have to pay it all up front? No. The reason I do it monthly and that you pay monthly is because I don't know whether you're going to enjoy what we're doing. And if you decide at month 2 that it's not for you, off you go. It doesn't mean you've coughed up money up front. You shouldn't have to do that. Right? This is like with the university thing, isn't it? You go to university, you pay all the money up front. If you don't like it, they won't give you your money back. Swine. I think you should pay by the day. Right? So, no. The idea is that it does a couple of things. That first off, it means that that if you at any time you've had enough, or people's circumstances change, something might happen that you can go, I'm sorry, Barry, I'm going to have to. A couple of people have done it. I'm sorry, Barry, my life is having a bit of this or a bit of that. I'm going to have to stop going for a month or 2. I'll come back and I'll start again. And I'll say this just so everybody knows: the only thing you can't do is jump back in. Right? You've got to start from the start again. I'm not sure how I get past that one, and I'm thinking about it. So let's say, for example, that you're on month 3, and then something happens and you can't make month 4 and 5. Is it possible for you to then jump into a team that's coming up to month 3? Well, I think it should be more than possible, unless the team's full. We just don't have enough people to do it. That's the reason. So until we get some more, we won't. And as you know, we've got an August start. Right, next question. Do you read extensively? That was just part of what they said. You must read extensively was what they said. It's an interesting one. I don't. Right, okay. Now, I can demolish a chapter, or I can look up something and go for a précis, but I read all day. So to say that I read extensively is probably true. What I don't tend to do is to sit down and read books cover to cover. I'll pick a chapter, I'll pick a bit. I pop in and out because I've got so much to do. It's become very, very hard to actually spend much time reading. And I certainly don't read fiction. Does anybody do that anymore? Women. Do women read more fiction than men? That's what I want to know. I don't know. Perhaps they do, perhaps they don't. So, I don't. Yeah, right. And the final one was, are you planning on doing the Warrior Teacher program as a e-learning thing? So what they're asking, is it e-learning? Oh, yeah. What they're asking is, can I do this by me recording it and you doing it? No. 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 Okay, and I'm looking at something for children. I'm looking at that, right? Okay, so I'm looking at that to see if that's doable. That would be just click here and listen. Okay, so people would be able to get a presentation about that, about stuff that children need to know. I'm also looking at getting other people to do that, possibly online with children as well. But the program itself, half the importance of it is the conversation, and it's a bit of a shock to people in the first month or 2 because you are going to get challenged. Right? That's what's going to happen. You're going to get challenged. You're going to get challenged. Right? And if you don't want to be challenged and knocked off that particular pedestal that you grip onto so hard, then you really don't want to be coming. Because, you know, whatever your view is, I'm going to take the opposite. But that's what it's about. It's about being a warrior teacher, surveying the entire landscape and going, right, where do I need to stand to move this conversation forward? Warrior teachers don't have a personal view that they espouse much. It's just their job to get the other person talking. So, yeah, I think it would really, really take something away if we did that, and I don't intend to do it. And I feel like it would be a betrayal of the existing people on it. Anyway, look, I've waffled on enough. This was just to say it's halfway through the year. It's been a crazy year already. We've had the stuff with the Arts Council. We've seen the most extraordinary nonsense from the BBC with their programmes that they're putting out. We've had Matt Walsh's What is a Woman? So it's been an extraordinary 6 months, and here's to the next 6. I've no idea where we're going, but we seem to be going in the right direction. So keep going, folks, right? Today, let's have a happy message. Onwards, as they say. Let's keep going, and let's hope that in time, sense will prevail, and we'll see a return to sanity. Thanks very much for listening. Come and be a warrior teacher. You'll love it.